Hey guys, welcome back to the Logical Owl. My name is Rishabh Jain, and today we'll do some exam style questions on chapter 11. So, the first question is 11.7. So, I'll open the question for. So, the question says a loan of 50,000 is repaid over a period of 10 years by a series of level monthly installments. So this is the main line you must focus on, level monthly installments. Interest is charged on the loan at the rate of 8% per annum effective. So the first part is calculating the monthly repayment. Second is about calculating the amount of interest paid in the first year. So whenever you do questions in exam, first of all try to visualize the problem you are facing. So in this setting, in this arrangement, we have a loan of 50,000 at time 0 and the loan has to be repaid in 10 years. And since the installments are monthly, we can denote it by these small line on our timeline. Now we will first calculate the amount of installment at the end of every month and let's denote it by M. So our equation of value will be this, and we are given interest rate of 8% per annum effective. So the interest is 8%, and we know that there is a special page for 8% table and figures in our table book or formula book. So what we'll do, we'll first calculate the value of M, that is the monthly installment at the end of every month, and for that we'll first have to calculate A10 12, and which will be equal to A10 into I upon I12. So from the tables you can see the value of A10 is 6.7101. If you have the table right now, you can open the table and in the column of AN at n equal to 10 you will find 6.7101 and the value of I upon I12 is so the value of A10 12 is equals to 6. So this way we can calculate our M to be equal. So our M will be equal to 599.29. So we are paying 599.29 as an installment at the end of the every month for 10 years to repay our loan of 50,000 rupees. In the method 2, to calculate the value of M, instead of taking year as a time period, we can take month as a time period and we can consider total number of payments to be 120, where each payment is made at the end of first year. Now to calculate the interest rate for these first month, we will need effective monthly interest rate and which can be calculated as, so we are given I equal to 0.08, so our I12 upon 12 will be equal to 1.08 to the power 1 by 12, and this will come out to be so in this way our equation of value will be A120 at the rate of 0.6434%. This would also give M equal to 599.29 as installment. Where you can calculate A120 as So this is the general method. You already know how to calculate this value. We have spent much of time in our earlier videos calculating these. So you are very much familiar with those. So we move ahead and we come to the main part of the question. So we have calculated the installment, and in the second part we have to calculate the amount of interest paid in the first year. So our payment started at time 0, and at the end of every month we are paying this installment, and we want to calculate the interest part of the first year. So I already know that at L0 my loan is equals to 50,000, and so I will calculate the value of L1, that is the loan outstanding at time 1. And why I am doing that? Because if I know the capital part of the first year, then I can subtract that part from the total amount paid to get the interest, because there is no direct way to calculate the interest of the whole year. If this question is asking for the interest paid in this time interval, then what I could have done, I could have taken this value and take the interest rate, effective monthly interest rate, and multiplied it with L0 to get the figure. But it is asking for the interest rate, it is asking for the interest paid in the whole 1 year, that is interest paid in 12 installments. So for that I will have to calculate L1, and the value of L1 can be calculated from the prospective method as 599.29 into 12, that is the annual amount I am paying, A, that is the present value of all the future cash flows at time 1. Now in a similar fashion like earlier, I can calculate the value of A912 as A9 into I upon I12 at 8%. Or another way of doing it is, so in the second method we can calculate L1 by taking months as a unit of time. So let me draw it for you. So this is the timeline, and we want to calculate the value of L1 at time 1. So at the time 1 we have made 12 payments by the time 1. So there were total number of 120 payments. So we can also calculate L1 is equals to 599.29 A108, that is the number of payments in the future and the present value of those payments at time 1 at 34%. So the answer would be same, but since the value of I equal to 0.08 is given in the table, so I would recommend you use the first method because it is easier to calculate. In this method only, you have to look the value of A9 in the table, you have to look the value of this I upon I12 in the table, and you have to multiply to get the answer. But in the second method, you will have to calculate the value of A108 by manually calculating the figures in the calculator, because this value of interest rate is not given in tables. So I would not recommend using this method 2 in examination to save your time. So we get back to the question again. So our L1 will come equal to 599.29 into 12, and the value of A9 will be 6.2469, and the value of I upon I12 will be similar as before. So your L1 will be equal to 46548.71. Now we know the value of L0. The value of L0 is the loan itself, that is 50,000. So we can calculate the capital paid in year 1 is equals to 50,000 minus the capital left after the payment of 12th payment at time 1, that is 46,548.71. So the total amount of capital that has been paid in year 1 is equals to 3451 29. Now to get the interest part, interest paid in year 1. To get this figure, we'll first calculate the total amount that is being paid in year 1. So our total amount will be 599.29 into 12. That is the total amount of installment paid in year 1. Subtract the amount of capital paid that we just calculated, 3451.29, and you will get your answer. So in year 1 we are paying 3740.19 as the interest on our loan. So now we look at the third part of the question, and this is the most important part, where we will restructure the loan. So it is written, after the payment at the end of 7 years, the borrower takes a 2-month payment gap. That is, the borrower does not pay the next 2 monthly installments. And we have to calculate the extra amount that needs to be paid each month in order to fully repay the debt by the end of the 10th year. So what we are doing, after 7th year, let's say it is time 7, and let's say we have some time 8 here, and these are some monthly installments. Okay, so it is written that after the 7th year, payment at 7th year, the borrower stopped paying his installment for 2 months. So the installment that had to be paid here and here are not paid. So what will happen? So since we have skipped 2 installments, so we have 2 options. Either you increase the tenure of the loan, that is you pay the installments even after the 10th year, or the second option is to raise your amount of installment that you are paying. So after this time, what we'll do, we will increase the amount of installment so that we still complete the repayment of the loan in 10 years time. So how do we do that? First we need to calculate the value after the payment at time 7. So we calculate the value of L7 this way. We'll again write this A312 as A3 into I upon I12. So the value of A3 will be 2.5771 and the value of I upon I12 will be same. So your L7 will be equal to 19,203.27. So after the payment at time 7, the loan outstanding is 19,203.27. Now you have skipped this installment, you have not paid this installment, and you have not paid this installment. So after the end of 2nd month, that is after 7 years and 2 months, the loan will accumulate to, since you have not paid any amount, so the accumulation will be going on and the interest of these 2 months will be added. So after 2 months, since no payments are made, the loan will accumulate to this value, 19,203.27 into 1.08, just normal accumulating the loan. So it will be equal to 19,451.17. So this is your timeline. This is, let's say, time 7. This is 7 years and 1 month, and this is, let's say, 7 years and 2 months. Your so and the loan outstanding here is 19,451 into 0.70. Okay. Now we want to restructure the loan in such a way that we increase the amount of installment so that the loan is still repaid by the end of 10th year. Now we will pay a new amount y at the end of every month till the 10th year. You can also consider this as a new loan taken on this time 7 years and 2 months. So we will form the equation of value, which will be 19,451.27, and since we don't know the amount, how much amount to be increased, so we'll take it as y into 12, since there are 12 payments in a year, and we'll take the remaining time period. So we are standing on time 7 years 2 months. So the remaining time until time 10 is 2 years 10 months, and since the payments are monthly, you can write a little 12 on the notation. You can also write this 210 upon 12 as y into 12 a 2.833. This is a more clear notation because it is written in decimal, so it is easy to write and easy to understand. And in the earlier chapters, we saw that if our n is in integers, we check if the value is going to be correct. And how do we check that? We'll calculate the value of np. So it is n and it is p. If our np is an integer, then the value will be right, and if it is not an integer, this notation does not make a sense. So if we calculate the value of np, so value of np will be 2.8333 into 12. So this value will be equal to, this value will come out to be 33 point something 9999, but since we have taken only 3 threes, if we calculate the value exactly like 2.83333 into 12, you will get approximately 34. And you can cross check this value. Since we are standing here at 7 years 2 months, so the remaining number of months is 34. So this way you can calculate the value, and the value of 2 will be equal to into I upon I12. Okay, so this is the value of A 2.833, and this is I upon I12. So if you calculate all the figures right, this value will come out to be 2.53755, and your answer will be so you will get y equal to 638.78. So you observe that the value of the installment is raised approximately 38 to 39 rupees. There is one more way to calculate this. We can also use the equation like this: y A34 simply with interest rate of 0.6434%. This is our method 2. So in this method we have directly calculated the monthly payments, and still there are 34 payments, so we can use, and our y will equal to 638.78. And in the first method, what we did 2.833, the remaining number of years, and still the payments were 12, so we can also do that. So this ends the question here. We have calculated the amount, and now we will do another question, that is 11.9. So in this question it is said an actual student takes out a loan of 2,50,000 with a term of 25 years. The mortgage is repayable by the level installments made monthly in arrears. Monthly installments in arrears. Okay. Interest is charged at a rate of 6% per annum effective. We have to first calculate the monthly repayment. Then we have to calculate the capital repaid in 4th year. Then the interest element of the 49 payment. Okay. The most important part of this question is the third and fourth point and this paragraph written here. After completing her exams, 6 years after taking out the mortgage, the newly qualified actuary reviews her finances and realizes that she can afford to make repayments at twice the rate of calculated in first. So we'll look at what does it mean. So we first calculate the first part. We have taken a loan of 2,50,000 here and for 25 years. And the payments are monthly. So we can calculate the payments as m into 12, a 25, 12 at 6%. So this will be equal to m into 12 into a25 into I upon I12. So m into 12 into a25 from the tables is 12.7834 and the value of I upon I12 is this. So when you solve this equation you will get m equal to 1586.55. So we have calculated the monthly installment that need to be paid at the end of every month in order to repay the loan by the end of 25th year. Moving on to second part, the capital repaid in 4th year. We have to calculate the capital repaid in 4th year. So this is year 3, this is year 4. We'll calculate the amount L3 and L4 and the difference of this amount will be the capital repaid in 4th year because this is our 4th year. So nothing new, we can calculate L3 as we already know the monthly amount 1586.55 into 12. Remaining years after third payment after time 3 will be 22. And since payments are monthly, so we can calculate this at 6%. So your L3 will come out to be 2,35,493.47. Again, to calculate this value A2212, you first calculate the A22 and then multiply it with I upon I12. Now we calculate A4 in a similar way. Now instead of 22 it will be 21 and rest of the thing will be same. So this will come out to be 2,30,065.97 and the difference, that is the capital paid in 4th year, will be 2,35,493.47 minus. So you have paid a total of approx 5427 as your capital. A little bit difference of rounding can be found in the answer, so there is no issue regarding that. Now in the next part, third part, so we again take a look at the question. It says that after 6 years the actuary wants to double the rate at which she is paying. So until now she is paying 1586.55 rupees at the end of every month. But now she has become a qualified actuary and she reviews her finances and she realizes that she can afford to pay double the amount that she is paying already. So right now she is paying 1586. This 1586.55 as the amount. If we double that, we get an amount of 3173.1. So let me write it. 1586.55. So now after 6 years time, she wants to pay 3173.1 in order to repay the loan early before 25 years. And obviously, since she has doubled the rate of payment, the loan will now end very early than 25 years. So till 6 years there are no change. After the payment at time 6, we will first calculate the loan outstanding, and then from the 6th year the amount which will be paid at the end of every month will be 3173.1. So let's first calculate the value of L6, that is the after the payment on the time 6. So if we look at the prospective method, to calculate the value at time 6, we'll look at the future payments. Now there is a confusion that people generally have, students generally have. What they do, while calculating the prospective amount, they multiply it by 2. We will not use the 3173 amount here. While calculating the amount loan outstanding amount at time 6, we have to calculate it on this amount 1586.55, because we are checking how much loan have been paid. So this is the amount that we were paying monthly, and since we have paid the amount for 6 years, we will calculate it for remaining years. Okay, don't use the amount 3173 here, because we have not yet started paying the amount. We are just calculating the value at time 6. So this amount will be equal to 218,215.42. So the loan outstanding after time is 2,18,215.42. Now we are given that student now doubles the installment. From now on, the student will pay 3173.1 at the end of every month. Now since she has doubled the amount of installment, she would repay the loan earlier than 25 years, and we want to calculate how much early or at what time the repayment stops. So we'll again form the equation of value. We have this amount and we want to check at what time the amount stops. Okay, or at what time, by the what time we have completely prepaid the loan. So to form the equation of value, this is time 6, we are paying this amount at the end of every month, and let's say this is the time t until we pay the amount. So we are paying 3173.1 at the end of every month. So this is the total amount we pay. And if I write it as AT and 12, what does it mean? This means this T is that year by which I have completely repaid the loan. So let's say if this T come out to be, let's say 7, then this will mean that after 6 years I will have to pay the loan for 7 more years. So we can calculate this amount. Our AT12 will be equal to 1 minus, you can either use I12 directly or you can write it like this, 0.08 into 1.027211, that is I upon I12. If you rearrange the terms, if you multiply this 0.08 here, this if you divide this term in the LHS, you will get 1.0, sorry, it is 6, not 8. You will get 1.06 power minus t is equals to taking log both sides. So you get t equal to minus log of upon log of 1.06. Now from the first look you might find that why this t is negative, but actually this is not negative. When you calculate the value of the numerator log 0.66526, this will come out to be negative, and the negative sign will cancel out and you will get the answer. So when you solve this, you will get 6.9949. Now here's the fun part. So we got our t equal to 6.9949. So if you pay 3173, if you pay this amount for 6.9949 years, then you will repay the loan. But how is that possible to pay for 6.99 years? What does that mean? So first of all, let's convert this 6.99 into months. So when we do that, we get approx 83.9388 months. So that means you will be able to pay 83 installments of this amount, 3173.11. But the last installment will not be completely one. It has to be something less than that. So let's say this was your year 6. So this was year 6. And after 7 years, that means approximately 7 years, you will be paying until year 13. Okay. So after 83 installments, counting from here for 1, 2, 3 and so on, you will be able to pay 33 installments completely. But the 84th installment, so 84th installment means at the time 7. So 7 plus 6 equal yani ki is time pay at time 13. So at time 13, the 84th installment will not be equal to 3173, but it will be less than that. So it will be some amount P at time 13, and the amount in this 83 installment will be 3173.1. So we now calculate this amount P and we restructure the loan again. So now what we do, we know that we are paying completely 83 installments and the 84th installment at time 13 is some amount less than 3173, and we don't know exactly how much that amount is. So we will calculate this amount. We know that the initial loan at time 6, that is the loan outstanding, is this much amount. So we will again form our equation of value. We want to restructure the loan. We want to find the amount, let's say P. Okay. We know one thing, that our amounts are going to be 3173.1, and we will pay 83 installments of this amount plus the last installment at time P, v to the power 84, and I am using the interest rate 0.486%. We have calculated this I12 upon 12. So you can either form the equation like this, or the second or most easy way is to form the equation like this. You are paying 3173.1 and total number of years are a 6.99 whatever. Sorry, it will not be 6.9. it will be actually 83 months. So if you convert 83 months into years, it will be approx 6.91667. So you just have to divide 83 by 12. So it will come out to be 6.91667. You have to take care of that value. You don't have to use this value. Don't use this value. Okay. So we will pay this amount for 6 years and 11 months. So you can write it in two ways. You can either write it as 6 years 11 months, or you can write it as 6.91667. It's one in the same thing, at the rate of 6%. So this value will be equal to 1 minus I have used interest rate I instead of I12. That's why I'm using this converter. You can directly use I12 in the denominator, then there would be no use to multiply this value. Okay. So this will give us the value 5.67886. And when you put this value, your equation look like this: 218 equals to 3173.1 into 12 into 5.67886. Oh, sorry. There was one more thing. We forgot the last payment. There was this last payment PV7 at the rate 6%. So we can add this value again, P 1.06 to the power minus 7. Okay. So when you solve this value, you will get P equal to 2977.69. See, the regular installments were 3173, but the last installment is less than that. So our last installment is 2977.69. So now we calculate the total amount paid. So our total amount paid will be equal to, we paid 83 installments of this amount, plus we paid the last installment of 2977.69. So this is the total amount that we have paid, and the capital that we have paid in this 7 years approx is, capital is this because this was the initial loan, and after this the value will be 0. So the capital paid is this same, and if we subtract this amount from total amount, we get the if we subtract this amount, we get interest paid. So our interest paid will be So we have paid an interest of 48,129.54. So if we raise our installments to double, we will repay the loan by the end of 13th year, and the total amount of interest that we pay in the last 7 years from time 6 to time 13 will be 48,129. Now the question is asking that how much interest we are saving by choosing to pay the double amount in the end of 7 years. So had we not increased the payment, or let's say if after time 6 we were still paying the original amount of 1586, then the interest that would have been paid will be equal to So the total amount, if you are paying 1586, will be equal to, so into 12 and into 19 years, because the loan would have ended at time 25. Because if you are paying 1586 only and not the double amount, then the loan would end at 25 years. So will you pay this amount for 19 years? So this is my total amount, and the capital that I would pay would be, so in this term the capital that will be paid will be 2,18,215. This would remain same because at L25 will be equal to 0, and we know L6 equal to this amount. So less the capital. So we would get an interest amount of, so you would get 143,517.98. So if you were still paying 1586 at the end of every month, then your loan would end at the time 25, because you are paying slowly, so your loan would take 25 years to complete. That means 19 years from time 6, and you will end up paying an interest of 1,43,517. So how much extra interest you are paying? So you can say that if you are choosing to pay double installments, you have two benefits. First of all, your loan would end at the time 13, and the second benefit that you are saving 95,388 rupees as your amount. So this was the whole question. We end the video here. We have completed the chapter 11. I would recommend that you practice this chapters very much. You practice all the questions given at the back of the chapter, and you try some past year exam questions. So I'll see you guys again in next video. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching the video.